Hello students, I am K.K.Wagh from KK Commerce Academy, the destination where success begins. Students, if you are a student of AS and A level, Cambridge University, IGCSE board, so definitely this session is going to be important for you because accountancy subject is definitely made easy by Chartered Accountant K.K. sir, that is me. I'm global mentor. I'm already teaching to the multiple boards, multiple universities, multiple countries. So definitely you are in safe hands if you are in this session now. So students, accountancy, which is one of the interesting subject, and I'll make it I'll try my best, I'll give my best to make it interesting, and definitely I guarantee you will fall in love with the subject if you are learning from us. Students, when it comes to accountancy, the one of the first topic for AS and A level is double entry system. So already we started this topic, and this is lecture number 2, and earlier session is also available on this YouTube channel itself, so you can watch this as per your convenience. And if you are directly in session number 2, so don't fear, you can start watching from here also. Definitely you will understand the topic. Okay, so now what is meant by double entry system? So as we already just gone through this part in the previous session only, so I'll give you the brief idea. So whatever transaction happens, so what is by transactions? So students, now we are doing business. Okay, so in business, whatever economic event happens, for example, just take simple example rather than taking a technical terms, just take a simple example. Suppose I am a shopkeeper and you are a customer. So being a customer, you came to my shop and you are buying something. If you want to suppose you want to buy one packet of French fries. Okay, so you want to buy French fries and I'm a seller, so you came to me and you asked me what is the price, and I told you, for example, say $10. So you pay me $10. I'm in return of that, I'm giving you your French fries order. Okay, so here I'm giving you something, I'm getting something from you, and definitely there is involvement of money, right? Whatever currency it is, doesn't matter, it is in a dollar, it is euros, it is rupees, whatever currency it is, but money is involved in that transaction. And even the money is not necessary, it is physical money, it may be digital form. You can pay you can make the payment by UPI, or you can just simply you can make the payment by scanning QR code, making net banking, phone banking, so by giving a check. So, or even the transaction may be on credit basis also. That means you came to my shop, you buy French fries for me, and when at the time when I'm asking for money from you, that please give me $10 for that, and you said, sir, I'll pay you the money after 8 days. So in this transaction, I already give you your product, but in return, I'm not getting money immediately. I'll get the money after 8 days. So today, when the transaction happens, so involvement of money, or we can say flow of money, does not happen immediately, it will be happen in future. Okay, so after 8 days, maybe you are saying after 8 days, but it may be possible that you take 20 days to make the payment. Okay, so moral of the story is, since the payment is not yet received, payment is yet to be received, so it is known as credit transaction. Okay, so transaction, whether it is cash or credit, it is a transaction, and we have to record this transaction in systematic manner, and it is known as double entry system. And now moving to double entry system, so let's see, I'll revise the topic which you already saw in the lecture number 1. So students, we have to record the transactions, every transaction, every financial event accurately, and of course for that we can use the ledgers. So ledger is just T-shaped ledger, where one side, that is left side, is debit, right side is credit. So we have to divide the ledger into ledger is split into 3 distinct parts. Okay, so students, double entry system means we have to record both the sides of every transaction. So as I said to you, for example, French fries I gave to you, so one aspect is that I gave French fries, and another aspect is that I'm receiving the money. So I receive the money, French fries goes out from me, so there are 2 aspects, of course. So for every transaction, this is just one of the example, but for every transaction there are always 2 effects, and these 2 effects we have to show, we have to present. That is double entry system. And if we are not showing the another effect, we are just showing the single effect only of the transactions, not 2 effects, it is known as single entry system. It is as simple as that. Okay, but frankly speaking, simple or we can say single entry system is of course easy to use, and anybody who don't have even the technical knowledge of accountancy can use this, but practically it is not applicable for the big businesses. Okay, so very small businesses whose transactions are transaction frequency is low, or even their turnover is very low, so such small business, medium business only can use single entry transactions. But for all other, double entry system is suggested only. Okay, and double entry system is, frankly speaking, it is worldwide, it is now global for everyone. So doesn't matter in which country you are, doesn't matter which laws are applicable for you. Double entry system is universal, applicable for all, which is found by Italian merchant whose name is Luca Pacioli. Okay, students, let's move to the next part, dual aspect principles. So as I said to you, dual aspect principles. So dual, there are two aspects. So to just take an example of buying fuel. Suppose we buy a fuel, we are receiving the fuel, but of course we are giving the cash. So cash, we have to give credit to cash, we have to give debit to fuel because we are receiving the fuel. So it is dual aspect principle. Okay, so buying a football boot. So since we are getting the buying football foot, so the foot comes to us, sorry, boots. So not foots. How can we buy boots? Actually, foots we already have it. So since we buy football boot, so we have to give debit to it, and since we are making the payment, so we have to give credit to cash account. Okay, so for every transaction we have to decide one debit and one credit, of course. And how can we decide? That is also the question. Sir, why you give debit to boot and credit to cash? Why not debit to cash and credit to boot? So we'll go through this logic just in few minutes, and then we'll start another part also. Okay, so this is dual aspect principles. Every transaction has a receiving side and giving side. So double entry captures both always, always and always. So now the last part which we already saw in the previous session is T account. So T account, left side, right side. So left side is of course debit side. It is also known as receiving side. Okay, so it records what the account gains or receives in value is always on the left, and credit side it records the loses. It records what account loses and gives away in value, always in the right side. Okay, so do remember always debit entry, one must have corresponding credit entry in another account. So students, always remember, this is the golden rule. As the name itself suggests, golden. Gold is very important. Yeah, gold is very precious. So as the gold is precious, this rule is also too much precious for you. Every debit entry in one account must have corresponding entry in another account of equal value, no exceptions. So this is universal. It has no any single exception in the world. So whatever entry we made, always we have to make sure that the total of the debit side is always should be equal to total of credit side. Why I'm saying about total? Because there is a possibility that there are multiple debits. That is, for example, we give three debits, three different accounts debited and two accounts credited. Still, it has to be tallied. So two accounts debited, only one account credited has to be tallied. So always remember, total of debit side and total of credit side always match. Okay. So a non-personal account must always include the word account in the heading. Example, rent account, purchase account. These are non-personal accounts. Non-personal means there is no involvement of money. There is no involvement of a person. For example, rent is not the name of the person, right? Rent is name of the expenses. But if I say that KK, so since my name is KK, so KK is a personal account, of course. Since it present the name of the person, individual. But rent is not the name of the account, not the name of the person, so we have to use account in after their name, okay, as a suffix. Now yes, now we have to see the worked example, and now students, get ready with pen paper. Okay, get ready with pen paper. Now we have to solve something, we have to solve together. And since this session is if you're watching this lecture live, so definitely I'll recommend you to I'll recommend you to be ready with me and write everything with me only. Okay, and if you're not ready with pen paper, just pause the session, be ready with pen paper, and then watch the further sessions so that your understanding level will definitely be high. Okay, so let's get ready. Yes, so worked example, it is Bola's meat business. So Bola owns a meat selling business. Okay, so let's record her weekly transactions. Weekly transactions is given here. These are the different transactions, and we have to record these transactions in debit or credit. But before starting this, I'll tell you some rules, and you have to remember these rules very well. Okay, students, do remember, very simple, but these are the most important golden rules. Which is useful not only for today's session, not only for the first chapter, but it is applicable throughout the accountancy. Okay, so suppose in your higher education, in your any degree or certificate or professional course, whatever you're going to do in future, this rule is applicable always everywhere. Okay, so let's see. First is asset, then expenses, drawings. Mm, sorry. If it increases, see, asset, expense, and drawings always have debit balances. If it increases, we have to give debit to respective account, and if these are decreasing, since it is decreases, we have to give credit to it. Okay, so for example, asset. So asset means property. Asset means property which we own. Okay, so say for example, I have building, I have my car, I have my bungalow, land, jewelry, whatever. So these all are assets. Okay, and since if these are increases in the transaction, because of the transactions, if these assets increases, we have to debit these assets. Okay, same in case of expenses. If we are making the expenses, say for example, we are paying the rent, we are paying salary, we are paying interest. So if you are making any expenses are increasing, then we have to give debit. And again, drawings is the opposite word of capital. So what is drawing and what is capital exactly? So suppose we are starting the business, and while starting the business, if we bring something into the business, of course, this you know very well that if you have to start the business, we have to bring something into the business, right? So some amount, it depends from business to business, vary from scale of the business. Of course, if you are starting the small scale business, we need a small amount of money. But if you are starting the large scale business, we need large amount of money. But definitely, we need money. We have to invest something in the business. So the investment which we bringing from our personal property to business property. So say for example, I started my own coaching institute with the name of KK Commerce Academy in 2016. So initially I'm just planning that I have to start classroom, my own classroom at the rented place, so there is no need of buying property, but I have to set up my tuition or institutes. So for that I need a proper setup, benches, TV, computer. So these things are required to me. Okay, so for that, of course, I need money. And suppose, say for example, I brought 2 lakh rupees, Indian rupees, of course, and I started my business. So that 2 lakh rupees is investment for me. Okay, and exactly opposite word is drawings. What I'm saying to you is drawings. So drawing means withdrawn something for personal use. Okay, suppose for my daughter I have to pay school fees. So how can I pay the school fees? Of course, I have to bring money from my business only, which is one of the income, which is the only one source of income for me. So I have to go to my coaching institute, that is my business. I have to bring money for my daughter, for my family, for my personal expenses. These are nothing but drawings. So if drawings are increases, we have again we have to give debit, and if these are decreases, we have to give credit. Okay, next, opposite of asset. Opposite word of asset is liability. Liability. Then opposite word of expenses is income. Opposite word of drawings is capital. So if these things are see, original balances of liability, income, and capital is always credit. If this increases, we have to give credit to these accounts, and if it decreases, we have to give debit to account. Okay, so let's see, let's take a trial. These are just the rules, and of course these rules we have to learn, but just memorizing or just remembering the rules doesn't important, it is not important for you. But while we solve the questions, while applying the question, definitely you will learn this one by one. Okay, so without doing any extra efforts, you will automatically memorize this by solving the questions. Okay, so get ready for solve the questions. So just a second, student. Just see this. If you are an Indian student, if you are comfortable with Hindi, you will definitely know, you will understand this update or news. So let's just go through it, and then I'll connect to you just in a minute. Okay,
जॉब के बाद थकान और पढ़ाई का त्याग, लेकिन अब पढ़ाई होगी जब आप चाहो। इंट्रोड्यूसिंग के कॉमर्स अकेडमीज, रिकॉर्डेड लेक्चर्स, एनी टाइम, एनीवेयर। चाहे आप वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल हो, चाहे आप स्टूडेंट हो, हाउसवाइफ या बिजनेसमैन, घर पर हो या सफर में हो, जहां इंटरनेट वहां आपका साथी केकेसीए। केकेसीए ऐप में आपको फीचर्स मिलते हैं जैसे कि वीडियोस डाउनलोड करें, स्पीड अपने अकॉर्डिंगली एडजस्ट करें, और इसके साथ ही आपको डाउट सेशन और नोट्स भी मिलेंगे। केकेसीए प्रोवाइड्स कोर्सेज लाइक 11-12 के सभी बोर्ड्स, HSC, CBSE, ISC, BCom, BBA, MCom, MBA, CA, CS, CMA फाउंडेशन एंड सारे गवर्नमेंट कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स लाइक ऑडिटर एंड अकाउंटेंट। अब हर किसी की पढ़ाई अब उसके पॉकेट में। सो एनरोल नाउ, डाउनलोड द KK Commerce Academy application and start your journey now.
Yes. So moral of the story is you can download our app from Play Store and App Store with the name of KKCA, where you can get the quality education, of course, at affordable price. And of course, if you are planning for a one-to-one batch, we are there to provide you that also. And of course, maximum batch size is also 10 students only. Okay. So we don't believe in quantity, we believe in always quality. And if you want exclusive and you want quality education, definitely this is the best place for you. Okay. What you're asking? TY become results. So Mr. Sahil, we are expecting the result by this month end. Okay, I already told to you. Actually, the result should be declared in 45 days, but this trend is not followed now. So almost you can just expect your result by end of this month. Okay, for graduation last year. Now, students, so let's start with the transaction number 1. Purchases meat of $210 from Scrag on credit. Okay. So student, first of all, by just observing the transactions, first of all, we have to consider exactly there is, as you can see, you are I think, okay, so as we already gone through this, Bola owns a meat selling business. Okay, so it is the business for Bola that they are purchasing the meat and of course selling the meat. They are dealing in that part only. Okay, so for them, meat are just goods. Now I'm just using this new word, goods or inventory. So what is my goods or inventory? Or we'll just see the word of we'll see the meaning of goods now. So goods means the product or commodity in which we deals. Goods means the product or commodity in which we deals. For example, I own electronic shop. So in this case, the fridge, washing machine, computer, LCD, etc. These all things are goods for me. Okay, then suppose I'm dealing in furniture. So since I own furniture shop, then chair, table, cupboard, furniture, sofa, this everything is a part of my goods. Okay, so it depends from business to business what are goods for us. And now since we already know clearly, which is given in the question itself, that Bola is dealing in the meat. So for Bola, it is these are goods. Okay, so it is their business that they purchase the goods and of course sell it to customer. Okay, so now students, which account should be debited and which account should be credited, that we have to decide this. So always remember the rule: if the transaction is related to goods, I repeat, if the transactions are related to goods, then we are not expected to use goods account anywhere. Listen carefully what I am saying. If the transaction is related to goods, whether it is purchase or sell, since it is related to goods, we are not expected to use the word goods in accounting or while debiting or crediting account. We have to use the name either purchase account or sales account or purchase return account or sales return accounts, and it depends from case to case and situation to situation which account should we use. Okay, I repeat, listen carefully my sentence and we will start this question. Students, first of all, what is meant by goods? Goods means the product in which we deal. This is our day-to-day business, that we purchase the goods and we sell the goods to retailer. Okay, so this is our normal trend. This is our business only. So in case there is a transaction of goods, then rather than using goods account, we have to use either of the four account, either purchase account, sales account, purchase return or sales return account. So sir, which account we should use, and at either of these four, which account we should take? It depends on transaction. Here, since we are purchasing the goods, we should use purchase account. If the transaction is related to sales, that we sold meat, then we have to use sales account. Suppose by any chances we return the goods to supplier, the from person from whom we could purchase the goods, and suppose these are defective, and so we return goods to them. So this is known as purchase return, or even another name is return outward account. That means we return the goods to supplier. And suppose same example, in case of customer, suppose we sold the goods to customer, but because these goods are defective or not as per the order, or not as per the commitment whatever we made, so our customer is not satisfied, so our customer came to us and he is returning goods to us. So this is sales return. The goods which we sold to them, these are return now, so these are sales return. Even though these are goods, we have to use sales return account. And another name for this is sales return for is return inward. Inward, that means goods come back to us, right? So these are return inward. Now here finally, since purchases meet, so purchase account should be debited. Because sir, purchase account, why it should be debited and why not credited? That is also the question. So purchase account is our expense. Since we are purchasing the goods, this is our expense, and since expense increases, we are purchasing the more goods, so of course we have to debit it. Okay, so students, I'm writing answer here. I'm not writing question, basically you can write this at your own, but I'm just solving the question now. So purchases account should be debited. Okay, and now the next point is, sir, if you're purchasing the goods, definitely we pay the cash, obviously, but bro, listen carefully, they clearly mentioned that transaction is on credit. That means we didn't make the payment yet. So sir, if we are purchasing the goods and we are not making the payment immediately, so definitely we have to make the payment in future, right? So since we have to make payment in future, then it is even liability. And since liability increases because we have to pay, right? We have to pay more because of this transaction. So liability increases. So we have to give credit to that account. And now we are purchasing from SCRAG. So SCRAG account should be credited because these are accounts payable basically. Okay. So SCRAG, SCRAGG. Okay, no need to write account because it is personal account. We have to use account in as a suffix when these are non-personal account. For personal account, we have to use just simply the name and not account. Okay, so purchase account debited and SCRAG account credited. Done. An amount of it is $210. Okay, I'll teach you the presentations also. What should be the ideal presentation, how we have to write, how we have to present this in leisure. We have to go on through this. We'll go through each and everything. So by the time you're writing the answer, I'll just tell you the rough format. So first column is for date. Okay, second column is for accounts which we are writing. Okay, accounts, or when it is known as particulars, also depends on, see, format always vary from board to board and university to university. There is a variation in the format, of course. Okay. Okay, so next is debit dollar. Yes, debit dollar and credit dollar. This is the format. Okay, so we have to write the transactions in this format now. Double entry. Okay, so move to the next part. Transaction number 2, cash sales for week $742. So cash sales, what do you mean by cash sale? That we are selling the cash. Take this note, this is the currency, and say for example in Indian rupees, this is 500 rupees note, I'm selling this. No man, if they are saying that we made a sale, that means we sold our goods only, that is meat in which we deal. Okay, so since we are selling the goods account should not be there. We have to use either purchase, sales, purchase return, sales return. So since we are selling the goods, of course we have to use sales account. Now we have to think on it that sales account is of which category? Either it is asset, of course not, it is not asset, right? So we are selling the goods. Is it expense? No, man. We are shopkeeper and customer came to us and we are selling the goods. How can it be our expenses, right? So no, drawings also, it is not also drawing. It is not a liability. It is our income, or we can say revenue also. Okay, so it is our income that we are selling the goods, and since we are making income, our income increases, right? We are selling the goods here, and since we are selling the goods, our income increases, and since income increases, it should be credited, right? It has credit balance, and since it is increases, it has to be credited. So in the next transaction, we have to write sales account should be credited, and since we have to credit it, that's why I'm writing this directly in second line, and even by leaving some space here. Okay, we have to just leave some blank space here, so that it should be presentable, that it should be credited and it is credited, it is debited. Okay, this is the way of presentation. So like suppose you are typing in your computer, and if you are typing while typing, rather than giving space, if you are just pressing tab in computer, so it's leave a large space, right? So just imagine that you are pressing a tab here. Okay, okay, so now sales account is created, of course. And another thing, the transaction is cash sales for week, right? So that means cash comes in, so cash balance increases, right? Cash sales means we are selling the goods and we are receiving the cash immediately. So cash is our asset, right? Cash is our asset property, of course, which we own. So cash balance increases, so we are expected to debit cash account. So cash account should be debited with the $742. Cash is, of course, a non-personal account, so it should be debited. And amount is I think $742. I think no need to give dollar sign now. Why? Because we already mentioned here that debit dollar, credit dollar. So heading is itself says that all amounts are in dollars only, of course, so no need to repeat it again. Okay, and in always every question we'll use the currency, whatever currency, either it is dollar or pound, whatever, we'll write this in heading, so that no need to use this symbol again and again. Okay, yes. Next transaction is supplies meat to Grand Hotel, $217 on credit. Students, now again we are supplying meat, right? But since we are losing meat is our goods. I told you, right? Meat is our goods. We are dealing in that meat only. So we are not expected to use meat account. We have to either use purchase account, sales account. So since transaction is related to supplying, if we are supplying this, so that means we are selling this to Grand Hotel, right? So since we are selling this, so this is our income. Basically sales is our income, and income increases. If we are selling the more goods, definitely our income increases, so income should be credited, that is sales account should be credited. Sales account, it should be credited. And cash come, no, there is no involvement of cash. Since transaction is on credit, that means we supplied them to we supply meat to them, and we're asking money. Bro, Grand Hotel, please give money. But they're saying no, we don't have money, we'll pay in future. But here we have to receive money in future. That means Grand Hotel is our debtor now. So what is meant by debtor? So debtor means a person to whom we are selling the goods on credit. Okay, these are also known as trade debtors. Basically, trade debtors means the customer. Trade debtors means simply the customer to whom we are selling the goods on credit. Okay, so these are our credit customers. So these are either known as trade debtors or trade receivable also. Okay, so here, so since Grand Hotel is receiving this, and so we have to give debit to Grand Hotel, $217. Grand Hotel account. No, man, no need to write an account, because this is a personal account. This is the name of, even though it is not the name of individual, but even though it is name of any university, any college, school, hospital, hotel, whatever, these all are personal account, and no need to write account if there is a personal account. Okay, yes. Okay, so moving to the next transaction, Transaction number 4, pays rent $75 for cash. Okay, so we are making payment of rent. Students, now first of all, we are paying the rent. That means we are paying the cash, right? Pay rent by cash. So cash is our asset. Cash is our asset, and since cash we are paying, that means cash balance decreases. Cash balance decreases. Sorry, here asset decreases. Cash balance decreases. So we have to give credit. So cash account should be credited. Cash account should be credited. And why we paid the cash? Because of rent. Okay, the property is of course we are a tenant and we are using this in case of rent, of course. So we have to pay rent. Rent is an expense, and since expenses increases, as you can see here, expenses increases, so rent account should be debited. Rent account to be debited with the amount of $75, of course. $75. Okay, next, pays telephone bill $43 cash. Okay, so students, pays telephone bill for in cash. Again, there is involvement of cash. I'll suggest you to focus on cash because one aspect is clear immediately if you get clarity about cash. So since we are paying telephone bill, that means cash is our asset, and cash goes out, that is cash balance reducing. So cash balance to be created, and since cash account is credit, of course another account will be debited only. So here we are paying the telephone bill, so telephone bill is our expenses, and since expenses increases, so it should be debited. Telephone account should be debited $43. $43. Okay, next, next, what is next, man? Okay, so question completed here only. Students, just a second. Rent and telephone are related to that only. See, they are just saying that there are few transactions which are confusing. For example, rent. We paid $75,000 rent here. Okay. Just a second. Shabib, sir, I'm confused about what to take. Can you tell me CMA India or USA which is better and which will have high demand? Shabib, rather than going with directly conclusion, so just send this message to us on our WhatsApp number so that we can connect you or we can help you as per our convenient time. 8483822271. This is our WhatsApp number. You can just send the message on that number. Definitely we'll try to reach out as early as possible. Of course, I am not committing that we'll respond just in a minute only. It can take time, but we'll have the solution. We'll try to guide you as much as possible. Okay, so 838483822271. And even Shabib, in Nashik we have our virtual branch at College Road. Okay, we have multiple branches. Out of these, one of the branch is at College Road with the name of VLD, that is Virtual Learning Destination, and this is the platform for all the professional courses and even global professional courses like USCMA. So if you are from Nashik, Maharashtra, so you can visit at that place, or I can send you the number which is handled by the another teacher of our team. So they will definitely guide you for this. Okay. Yes. So you can get courses for that also. So suppose if you want courses for CMA India or CMA USA, so you will get courses, recorded courses, or a pen drive or Google Drive, whatever option they have. They will definitely guide you in detail. Okay. Now, students, $75 rent. See, Bola pays cash to landlord, of course, right? So she receive or she gains the use of premises. So debit is rent account. Why? Because we are this is gain for use of building. So credit cash account because we gave the cash. Okay, and in case of telephone also, so we are getting the benefit that we can get the telephone services, and we are making payment of cash. So that's why telephone account debited and cash account credited. So simply just remember what is the quick strategy. Students, this quick strategy definitely help you to make the journal entries or double entry fast. So when confused, whenever you are confused after reading the question or reading the transactions, so just ask, has cash been paid out? If yes, then credit cash account and then other entry must be debited, of course. And you can ask another question also, has cash been received by us? Yes, then cash should be debited and another account is to be credited, of course. Okay, so first of all, just focus on the cash, whether you are receiving or paying the cash. And if there is no involvement of cash, then of course we have to think again by another angle. But if there is involvement of cash, so cash comes in, cash debited, and if cash goes out, the cash should be credited. Okay, so and do remember purchases. Purchases means item bought with the intention of selling to customers. Students, do remember this term. Purchases, that normally in our mind we use the purchases. That means if you're buying anything, suppose, sir, I purchase car. Wow, congratulations. But technically speaking, what is remember purchase? The item which you are buying, the items which you bought. Why? With the intention of selling to customers. That is known as purchases. Okay, so suppose in transaction, suppose in the next question you will have the transaction that you purchased furniture. So if you are purchasing the furniture, then in such a case we are not expected to write purchase account, we have to write furniture account. Why so? Because this no name which is purchase account and sales account, these names are in place of goods only and not for furniture, not for computer, not for building. These are different assets and we have to use that name only. Okay, so instead of goods only we can use purchase or sales account, because the intention is clear that we are purchasing with the intention to sold it. Suppose as a teacher, as a tutor, I am buying car for my purpose, for my traveling or for my business purpose, whatever. So it is not my business to buy car and sell car, right? So for me, car is not goods. Okay, since it is not goods, I can't use purchase account here. I have to use car account. It is my asset for, it is asset for me, which is intention is to use long term for myself only. But if we are thinking from suppose we are a car showroom owner or car dealer, whatever. So if you are a car dealer, that means definitely we are buying the car to sell it to another customer. Then in that case, buying a car is definitely purchases, because car itself is a goods. Car become goods, and if you're buying the goods, we can use purchases. Okay, so goods is not necessarily small thing or big thing, right? Next, sales. Items sold in the normal course of business. So sales means we are selling the normal items in the normal course of business. This is our business only, that we are selling this product. Okay, so then this is the sales account. And you can again remember one more thing, that purchase account is almost debited and sales account is credited, because purchase is expense and sales is our income. Okay, so this purchase is debited and sales is credited. Students, so these are the double entry system transactions. But here we just gone through transaction, but we have to present this transaction in T-shaped ledger. Okay, we have to show this transaction in T-shaped ledger. This one like this. Okay, so sir, how to show this? So I'll show you how to present these effects in debit and credit. So students, say for example in transaction number 1, we'll see each and every transaction one by one, of course. So we'll start with the first. Just a second. Okay, yes. So students, start with the first transaction number 1. In transaction number 1, which account is debited? Purchases account and scrag. So I'm drawing the two accounts, two ledgers, T-shaped ledger simply. So this is the ledger. So just draw this for 2-3 lines are sufficient. Okay, here also 2-3 lines are sufficient. Okay, so first account is purchase account. And here's the name of the supplier, Scrag. Okay, students, as we already know that left side is debit and right side is credit for every ledger, of course, always, always, and always. Students, now do remember the rule. See how to post this transaction or how to show this transaction in T-shape ledger. So in transaction number 1, purchase account is debited, right? Purchase account is debited. So go in debit side of purchase account. Since purchase account is debited, go in debit side of account, and we have to write amount here, that is $210. It is $210. Okay, amount of course in dollar in both the sides. Okay, and one more thing, purchase account is debited and Scrag is credited. So in debit side of purchase account, we are expected to write name of Scrag. And since Scrag is credited here, so we have to go to credit side of Scrag, and we have to write name of another opposite side account, that is debited, which is purchase account $210. So here purchase account and amount is $210. Okay, done. This was for transaction number 1. This is for transaction number 1. Now moving to next transaction. Transaction number 2. So 2 accounts which are used, cash account and sales account. Cash account and sales account. Left debit, right credit. Okay, now cash account is debited. In this transaction, cash account is debited, so go to the debit side of cash account and write the name of another, that is credit side account, sales account, and amount 742. Cash account should be debited with opposite name, that is sales, amount is 742. Okay, and in credit side of sales account, name should be of account debited, cash 742. Cash 742. Okay, yes. Next, transaction number 3, Grand Hotel and sales account. So in third one, we have to draw 2. If you are getting conceptual clarity once, you can solve any number of questions, doesn't matter. So Grand Hotel and another is sales account. Left side debit, right side credit. Okay, so in this transaction, Grand Hotel is of course debited. Sorry, here it is. Yes, Grand Hotel debited. So we will go to debit side of Grand Hotel and we'll write the name of account which is credited, sales 217. And here sales account is credited, so we have to go to credit side of sales account and we have to write name of debit, Grand Hotel, amount 217. Okay, yes. So moving to the next part. This was transaction number 3. Now transaction number 4. Rent account and cash account. Okay. So we'll draw again two ledgers. T-shaped ledger. Rent account. Intentionally, I'm drawing all the accounts with you. Of course, there is option for copy paste to me. But since this is just a first question, rather than doing copy paste, I'm drawing each and everything with you. So keep speed, match speed with me and draw as fast as possible. You will get very good understanding if writing this with me. Okay, this is not entertainment lecture, this is infotainment lecture that you are getting the information with KKCA entertainment. Right now, rent account is debited. So in debit side of rent account, we have to write the name of the account which is created, cash account, and amount is 75. So here we'll write cash 75, and cash account is credited. So we'll go to the credit side of cash and we'll write the name of account which is debited, which is the rent, and amount is $75. Okay, this one is fourth. Now last one, fifth. Telephone account and cash account. Telephone account and cash account. Debit, credit. Okay, so students, telephone account, I think we debit, yes, we give debit to telephone account. So we have to write a name of the account credited, cash account here, and 43. So here cash 43 and cash account credited. So in credit side of cash, we have to write telephone amount 43. Okay, so I hope this is the first question you understand very well. I'm just hoping this. I hope. What else can I do? If any one of these watching this live session, and if you're understanding this concept, definitely write your review that you're understanding this. Definitely will get more motivation to bring more and more content for you. Now, recording similar transactions together. So students, recording the similar transactions together, we'll solve one more question. I think it is now we have 10-15 minutes more. Okay, so now as much as possible, it depends on your response also. Okay, so students, now what is meant by recording similar transactions together? So let's see the meaning exactly. When multiple similar transactions occur, they all are recorded in one account. Students, when there are multiple transactions, say for example there are 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 5 transactions are there. Okay, so when multiple similar transactions occur, they are all recorded in one account only. Okay, so this keep the ledger organized and avoid duplication. So Greta's news agent business illustrate this perfectly. Okay, students, as you can see, our solution, suppose for this one, question number 1, and as you can see here, for cash account, see cash account is here also, 1, again cash account here, 2, cash account here, 3. So cash account we draw 3 times. Okay, and it is not logical to draw the same ledger always. This is actually increasing our work. But practically, this was just the first question. This was just a trailer. So that's why we draw cash account every time for every transaction separately. Okay. Even you can say sales account is here also, right? It is also twice. So students, no any account should be repeated. So no any account should be repeated. Now all the similar transactions should be recorded in the single ledger. That is the point here, recording similar transactions together. Okay. So let's see. You will get the proper understanding when only you will draw the transactions with me. Okay, when you will solve the transactions. So let's see, students. There are two ways to solve the question. First way is we can draw the directly. We can draw, sorry, double entry system like debit credit, and then we'll shift to the ledger. But now I'm just teaching you directly from the ledger only, okay, without double entry system, because that is not necessary. Every time it is not necessary that we have to draw a double entry system and then only ledger. So there are questions in the exams, you will have this question that you have to draw T-shape ledger directly. So we have to come to that point also, okay. So then why you are teaching this? Why did you teach this? Students, this is also necessary for conceptual understanding. We'll go through this in future also, but now we are jumping to that part and we are drawing directly ledgers, different ledgers, okay. So let's see. I'm just drawing the ledger. T-shape ledger. I don't know which accounts are required because the question is not yet solved, but still I'm just drawing two ledgers now, okay. Of course, left side debit, right side credit. We don't know the name, which name should be right here, but this is the format, okay. Students, cash sales of newspaper. Students, first of all, let me clear you who is the businessman here, okay. So students, this Greta Tier's news agent. So he is a news agent. So he owns and runs a store selling suppose news agent, newspaper, then magazine, then candies. These are the transactions, these are the goods for him, okay. So that it took place over a few days, of course. So why I'm just explaining this to you, because we have to understand what is goods and what are not. Business is vary from business to business, right? So since he's a news agent, that means, I repeat, newspaper, magazine, candies, then pamphlets, these are basic things, are goods for him, okay. So let's see the question, let's see one by one. So start with the first, cash sale of newspaper. So as I just told to you, so we are selling the newspaper, that is, newspaper is goods for us, right? Because we are a news agent. So if we are selling the newspaper, so see, there are two transactions, two aspects, of course, right? So first of all, just ask the first question. What is the rule? Golden rule, students. If you are confusing, or even though if you are not confused, ask the first question. Has cash is been paid out? Yes, then credit the cash. Cash is received? Yes, then debit the cash. Okay, cash should be debited here. Cash sales, that means we are selling the newspaper, we are receiving the cash, that means cash account should be debited, right? So one account is cash account, and we are selling the newspaper, right? And newspaper is goods for us, and since it is goods, so we have to use either purchase account or sales account. So of course, since the transaction is related, belongs to sales, we'll write here sales account. Okay, students, now cash account should be debited, right? Cash account should be debited because cash comes into the business. So in debit side of cash, we have to write name of sales account, $68. Sales, $68. Okay, and since sales is our income, so it should be credited. So in credit side of sales, we have to use cash, $68. Okay, so cash should be debited, and we have to write name of the account credited, and sales is credited. So we come to the credit side and we write the name of account which is debited. Okay. Yes. Next is cash sale of chocolates or candies, $151. So students, as a news agent, we of course sell candies also. This is also part of the regular business, small business. So since we are selling the chocolates or candies, that means we are selling the goods, and since we are selling the goods, sales account will be there, and cash sales. So since cash sales, so definitely cash received by us. So cash comes in, cash is receiving by us, so definitely it should be debited. So in right side of, that is debit side of cash account, not right side, it is left side. Okay, but rather than left and right, we have to use debit side. So in debit side of cash sales, we'll use sales and $151. Sales, because cash balance increases, so it should be debited, and sales is our income, so we have to write cash in credit side. Sales is our income, so we have to always show income in credit when income is rises. Okay, so it should be credited. Next, purchased candies, chips or drinks, $135. So students, of course these are goods, man. If we are a news agent, just imagine a newspaper shop just beside either railway station or bus stop, so definitely you will get these things. You will get newspaper, magazine, water bottles, candies, chocolates, even biscuit packets. These are the things which we can get, right? These all are goods. So students, since we are purchasing this, so there should be a purchase account, right? Because candies, chips, drinks, these are goods, so we have to use purchase account. And if you are purchasing the goods, definitely we have to pay cash. So cash account is already there, no need to draw it again. So we have to we need a purchase account now. Debit, credit. Mm, Purchase account. Okay, so students, purchase is our expense, right? So since it is expense, purchase should be debited, $135, and we are paying the cash, so cash should be credited. So in right side, sorry, in debit side of purchase, we have to use name of the cash, $135, right? And in credit side of cash, so cash goes out, so in credit side of cash, we have to use purchase name here. We are purchasing $135. Next, paid local taxes, $160 cash. So students, we are paying the cash. First of all, the question is, has cash been goes out? Yes. So cash should be credited, no doubt about it. But debit here, since we are paying the local taxes is expense for us, right? So since it is expense, we have to use local tax account. Local tax is not the name of course, any individual or any person. So we have to use per account name here also. So local tax account. Okay, so students, as I told you that we are paying the local taxes, that means cash goes out, so cash should be credited. Dollar is 16, amount is 160. So in credit side of cash, local tax, it is 160, and local taxes should be debited since these are expense. Cash account, sorry, cash $160, 160, right? Yes, 160. Okay. Next, last, sold potato chips to local club, $30 cash. Students, again, potato chips, drinks, this everything is a part of goods. Okay, we have to imagine sometimes, students, it is not necessary that they will give everything in detail. Okay, so suppose we have grocery shop, they are not going to give you the list of the items which they deal. You have to use common sense also, that which goods are available in super shopping, or which goods are available in grocery shop, which goods are available in clothes shop. So it depends on case to case, they'll just give the name. For example, here they give the news agent, so we have to think news shop, that is newspaper, then magazine, then chips, then vegetable, sorry, not vegetable, chips, water bottles, cold drinks, then maybe Avla candy. Okay, candies, pastry, sorry, not pastry, chocolates, biscuits, These all are goods, right? So we have to imagine that business and then we can come to the conclusion properly. So since we are selling the potato chips, definitely this is our goods also, we are dealing in this. So since we are selling this, so we have to use sales account. So sales account is our income, it should be credited, income increases. And since we are receiving the cash account should be debited. Okay, so in debit side of cash, we have to use the name of sales and amount is $30. And in credit side of credit side of sales, we have to use the name cash with $30. Okay, so students, here we enter the transactions which are similar transactions entered together. So we have to use ledgers, T-shaped ledger practically like this only. So earlier question was trailer and this is quite detailed question as compared to earlier, but definitely we'll meet to the next meet in the next session with the next topic or same topic. Let's see. So we'll meet in the next session for the next part. So students, see you there. By that time, don't forget to download our app. And students, if you are new on the channel, so definitely do subscribe and like this video, subscribe the channel and press on the bell icon so that you will get the notification for all the videos. So stay tuned and happy learning with KKCA. Take care. Bye bye.